You know what this is again? This is me getting shit ready. That's what it is.
And turn the car on.
Whoa. Windows
Okay.
up.
You wanna-
AC on light.
You want to take us in this time?
Welcome to Nitro Ride. This is
Coyote
and The Cosmos.
Ooh, and we have a question for each other today.
And that is, what is pride to you?
What makes you proud?
What makes you proud? That's what it was.
For me, I think it is the most obvious example. Obviously ties back to my line of work, and when me and my crew has successfully installed hand line and prevented some kind of asset or something from burning down. But while that's the thing that comes to mind immediately, I feel like giving it some more thought, what really makes me proud is how far I have come kind of through the consumption of psychedelics. Like, I fucking was such a different person 2 acid trips ago.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked on that. I think that's...
Is that because it made you aware of the things that you were already doing? Or did it make you change things you were doing to make you feel more appreciative of the accomplishments? Or like, did it show you a picture of yourself that you were happy with or that you weren't happy with?
I think I knew that I had something to work on for a very long time, and I definitely could have just like floated through life and never ever worked on it, you know? I could have just fucking been a surfer, like I feel like a lot of us are. We talk about the concept of like PCs and NPCs, right? Player characters and NPCs, and that is like a very non-player character, non-protagonist decision to just not be proactive about what your problems are.
So you stopped being an NPC.
Yeah.
And you started being a player.
Exactly. Like, you know, I was being a player in different walks of my life. I'd figured out some shit professionally, and maybe mostly just that, but I was really shitting the bed in that department for a really long time. I was like worthless and just no direction.
To your own standard.
To my own standard, right. Well, I mean, to my new standard.
You know, to your newfound.
Yeah, I was worthless. But I was being a total NPC in terms of my own, like, psychological development.
The character progression aspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't being introspective enough. And I looked at dropping acid. Mainly it's been, as I've done mushrooms too, but that was mostly for the party so far.
Yeah.
But mainly dropping acid, instead of just like totally releasing myself to whatever that was gonna bring, or having zero expectations, which is good to do to a point. I thought our friend said it beautifully when she brought up the idea of starting with your, I'm fucking forgetting the word again. Intention, yeah.
Yeah, setting intention.
Setting your intention before you go into this place. And I did that both times. And both times I encountered the bullfrogged arc, which is something we'll totally talk about in some episode in the future. But as a result of that, I was able to seriously take a look at myself and realize that I wasn't treating people the way that I really should be, and that I, more than anything else, that was a downstream component of not treating myself the way I'm supposed to, which is always the case.
That's the golden rule.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's funny because it's the opposite. Mm-hmm. Treat yourself how other people should be treated.
The golden rule fucking flows both ways.
It
like
does.
You need to treat yourself how you wish you would treat others.
Yeah. Especially when looking at your darker aspects and you reject them, but they're still you, and you need to bring them into the fold so that you can make them something. You can turn them into something. Because if you lock them up in a box and they this ain't ever getting out.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna let you fucking ruin another relationship I have.
Yeah.
But it's just you haven't worked on it enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like when people are afraid of moths and oh fuck, oh it's in my hair.
Yeah,
it's a moth.
It is a fucking moth.
It can't do anything to you.
Completely incapable of hurting you.
It's just fucking fluttering around,
Mm-hmm.
and you're making it into something scary. It's just not understanding what it's for, or what it's doing. That is the scary part, and a lot of people find that in themselves and don't know what to do with it.
If the foundation of fear is always a lack of understanding, and if the most commonly encountered or experienced formation of fear is the fear of the unknown, then I mean, there it is. Then get to know your moth a little bit better.
Get to know your moth a little bit
and
better.
You'll realize that it is incapable of hurting you.
Yeah. Or, don't put it in your closet, because if you put a moth in your closet, it's going to eat all your clothes.
Oh, that's true.
And that's the other thing, too. If you put that and lock it up in a place, it's just going to hurt you, because you're going to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're going to be using all that bandwidth, all that energy to keep it concealed. And it's like if you've watched Naruto, he has the nine-tailed fox in him, and eventually he forms a truce, and he becomes
the most powerful
thing.
Yeah.
And without that truce, and everybody told him that he shouldn't let it in, and everyone rejected him for having this thing, and totally the opposite of being able to be proud of yourself. Yeah. Because you're a bad thing.
And continuing with Naruto, like, it is this fucking, like, it's a demon, right?
It's a demon.
What he has within him, and that is this power that we all have to seriously hurt people.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, through, obviously, our physical actions, like, you could just rock somebody, you could cold clock people.
Yeah.
But, more abstract, and probably just as digestible, to be honest, is that we have the ability to really break people's spirits. But instead of shunning that and just thinking, like, I will never ever address this ability that I have, because if I do so, I could lose control, or I could become something terrible. You need to recognize that yang and the yin, right? That's right?
Yin and yang, same thing.
But which is the white one and which is the black one? The yang is
I think yin
the negative,
is the,
right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. I always get them backwards.
Yeah. Well, obviously, one cannot exist without the other.
Yes.
And if you by way of acknowledging the yang and the yin, you gain so much power, and you gain power through not letting something have power over you. Anytime that you refuse to address or talk about something, that's absolutely letting it have a power.
Oh, well, totally, because it's usually because you're ashamed, and that's kind of the opposite of feeling pride.
Huh? Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it is. It's 100%. And especially, like, say you grow up in a family that's all carpenters, or no, they're all accountants, and you go, well, Dad, I'm going to be a painter. And he goes, well, son, that's just not going to cut it in the real world, and that's not something you should be focusing your attention on now.
There's no money in that.
Well, son, I've opened up a great. I have the third story floor, a window apartment ready for you, or window office ready for you to be this accountant. I've given everything for you to be this.
Fall into the line that I've drawn for you.
And so you stifle your pride. You don't let yourself have it, and you see those people wither. And then they're 40 years old buying 3 boats with all their money, and they just
so absolutely twisted inside.
Yeah. It's just lost. Because, like, for me, when I'm feeling at when I can look at something and I go, wow, I feel very proud of this, it's usually when I have the initial doubt in myself, whatever it is, if it's a painting or a drawing, and I'm just struggling and it's hard, and but something in me says, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I need to get it done, because for me, art is therapy, and I need to finish this thought before I I stop and I don't want to process it anymore. And when it's done and I look at it and I go, I get that relief and I feel good that I was able to, like, I never doubt that I can do something. I doubt if I will do something. It's not. It's
I imagine that is how a large percentage of people are, and we're all afraid to recognize that. Like, we all might. You are fully capable of doing whatever you want to do, but it's much easier to say, "Can I do this?" than it is to say, "Will I do this?"
Yeah, it's in that 5 seconds of, well, I'm gonna get out of bed. I'm gonna do push-ups this morning.
Right.
And you go, no, I'm not. I don't need to do that.
I'll do that later.
That's a contract of myself. And on all day, I'll be thinking about how I should have just fucking done it.
I know. That's exactly.
And I'm ashamed of myself for not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about it all day. But, but I was kind of like hungover and I was not feeling really good.
And tomorrow I have all this shit coming, so I might as well be well rested for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in reality, a turkey in the road.
What are you doing, dude?
Get out of here,
He's
boy.
just in the middle of the road.
Oh, I love their big chest feathers.
So
dude,
big.
You see how iridescent that thing is?
That was beautiful.
Turkeys are rainbow colored.
Straight up. Turkeys should be the national bird.
I know.
Wait, are turkeys invasive? Maybe I'm
No, turkeys aren't invasive.
No, turkey vultures should be.
Turkey vulture. Well,
my God.
Yeah. Because death is good.
Yeah. I mean, god damn.
I mean, well, that's what it's on side tangents about birds. The ecosystem collapse often starts with when the scavengers get sick.
Right. Yeah.
And if you have no cleanup crew, then pestilence forms.
Yeah. I mean, they are the best. They are the most adapted to living in filth. And living off of filth.
Acquiring from filth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And processing filth.
Yeah,
and if they are the filth lords, what the fuck is going to happen to you when they disappear? Like, even the most well adapted creature for living in fucking pestilence or processing. When your pestilence processors disappear, what are you going to be living in?
You're going to be living in whatever they did, whatever job they're not doing.
Yeah, exactly.
A life without garbage men.
You're going to fucking die.
You're going to get sick and then die, which is much worse than dying.
Yeah. But pride.
Oh
God.
I'm proud of vultures.
That's
the whole thing. It's like they don't have to take pride in their thing. They're just fulfilling a cycle.
Do you have to take pride?
You don't have to take pride, but if you look back on on anything that is living and is in existence, it's surviving. It is putting conscious effort into its job, and it doesn't need to be proud because it's successful.
Yeah.
A tree that's been there, a giant sequoia, is
nothing to prove.
It doesn't have anything to prove, and that's where pride, the need for pride, is a sin. In the seven sins.
That was my next question: is how closely do you tie pride to ego? And I know that ideally we're all trying to step away from ego to a point, right?
To a point, but I feel like you have an ego that's just existing in life. You kind of need one. You can't be all not everything is as simple as I drop my ego and I just let things come through me, because you got to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself. And that's what the ego's there for. It's it's the harsh, no, I don't fucking think so. I deserve this. And maybe you do, maybe you don't.
Yeah. And it starts from such a obvious biological place, right? If from people, remove the metaphor. People literally stepping on you is going to hurt. Yeah. And so I feel just complete just shunning your ego is eliminating your self-preservation, in
a way.
And I might, maybe I misinterpret what ego
is
or whatever.
Weird. I mean, I think ego is fine. You can have an ego because that's kind of if in certain thought process, if you were a soul and you just are energy. You're an energetic body and you're floating around in this other dimension where like you can't really interact with matter. You can't really do, like, you need a body. And so you make this contract and you go, okay, I'm going to be in this body and I'm going to do these things, and like this is kind of the rough estimate of what this life is going to provide for me. And you need to feel it. Like, and that's like, it's hard to not attach that, because attachment is ego. It's like, oh, I made this thing, look at my thing, it's so nice. I made this thing. And it's the ability to be like, I feel pride enough in myself. Do I need other people to be proud of me?
Ooh,
do I feel pride in myself?
Oh, I wonder if ego is pride exposed, or like ego is pride presented, something like that. It would be really nice to just get a fucking hard line definition of the parallels between ego and pride.
But I feel like people that, well, you know the people. You know people that are overly proud of their shit, and you go, dude, come on now.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Dude, you know that this isn't that fucking big a deal. And those are the kind of people you kind of like, well, fucking Dave's being the dick. Who the fuck does he think he is? He made one fucking painting, and now he thinks he can fucking say whatever he wants. He's better than us all now. Oh, who died and made you king?
Right.
You know, it's that mentality. When, you know, a good king, you doesn't need to sit with his throne against the fucking wall because he's not afraid his back is going to get stabbed, because he's not doing things to hurt his people. You know, he's not being overly, he's not overreaching and doing things that are shitty because I'm the king and I can.
Right.
It's my God-given right.
Yeah.
And that's why we vote.
That's interesting. I thought about like how the thrones always are. It's always against a wall. Isn't it?
You have your followers all in view, and your back is to the wall. And there's lots of like metaphors for that in like Chinese and Japanese. Just because all like in Japan, I mean, I was watching the Netflix thing. It's not like I acquired this from reading anything.
Of course.
But because who does that anymore?
Who fucking reads?
But Japan was in constant civil war for like hundreds and hundreds of years. And it just, emperors, you know, you become an emperor one day, you're getting stabbed the next day. At a certain point when it's like crunch time. when your uncle's like, you know what, I don't think my brother's kid's gonna quite run this right.
You know what, have you ever seen that like History of Japan video? That's Bill Wirtz. God damn, God bless Bill Wirtz. But I remember a lot of that, like a lot of stab king, stab king, stab king.
So eventually you go, well, you know what? I need to have all these walls and protections because even if I'm a good guy, turkey.
Oh, turkey.
That's a she-turk. Oh, they're so shiny.
Guajalotes.
Yeah, even if you're a good king, you know, there's still people that realize that that's not gonna cut it. So it's like, even if you disband your ego in a place of position where you're gonna do something good, there's other people who are acting from a place of ego and are gonna do something bad, or they have their own motive to do. Oh, I miss that house. My my Aunt Leisha built that with her man.
What? No shit.
Yeah, super nice.
Oh,
it's such a good piece of property. They sold it a while ago.
Yeah.
But definitely beautiful. Like it's like all like rustic and shit.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this because I've been running in this was happening to me for a while. That's just your ego talking, bro. Like my ego, I have so much less ego than you do. That this is in and of itself is just your own fucking ego trip. Like,
yep.
And how it's so bizarre because the more that you address ego and like fight against it, the more the closer you can come to falling into the trap of like ego broing, you know? Like,
oh, dude, it's that. Those are like this. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual.
Yeah,
I figured
right.
it out, and I was one of those guys for a minute, and because I did enough drugs and had enough like free thought
Right.
to believe that I had like figured out what karma was, and that I was on this like uptick, and like I'm such a good guy. Like
Enlightened.
another turkey. There's so many turkeys
Get
today.
out of here, man.
That I'm just such a good guy. I know what I'm doing. Like, and this is all I have to do to prevent myself from falling into any more of anything.
Right. Yes.
And then it all came crashing down. And people like I was hanging out when I was with my roommate, and he's all, dude, that's not good. Like, you what do you think you do? He's like, I wouldn't do that. That's you. Like, I don't know what you think you're thinking, but it's not. That isn't a
You are not enlightened right now.
Yeah, you're not enlightened.
Yeah.
And stop trying to, because if you think you are, I feel like when you promote yourself to being like, I'm enlightened, the universe goes, you know what? Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I firmly believe that the path to enlightenment is the closest that one can get to enlightenment. And, you know, I'm not as studied as I'm probably not as studied as the next guy, but I feel like the getting is the there, you know? Like, we're always getting there.
Yeah.
And that's what you, like, don't even necessarily enjoy that, but because as soon as you start to enjoy that, suddenly you become the person that's like, oh, I'm enlightened, you know?
Yeah.
In being on this path, I am enlightened, and that can slow your momentum. That can slow your push.
Because you've achieved it.
Exactly. And as soon as you feel comfortable enough in that, then you're no longer getting there.
Yeah.
Because you made it.
Yep. And you see anybody, you look at any old guy, it's like, well, why didn't you you were there?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right?
You were there.
Yeah, you were already there, man. You fucking just
or people that are there and are still unhappy. You know, like, even there's no satisfaction.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. It's weird to have that idea of like you're never there.
Yeah.
Because the whole objective is to just live and continue to experience.
Yeah.
And so like when Joe Rogan talks about it a lot, it's like I like doing things I suck at doing because it shows me there's more to do.
Right.
And it's
challenge.
I'm no master. You have to humble yourself.
Right.
Because when you reach the mountaintop, well, you can tell there's a bunch of other mountaintops. And do I need to go and chase them all? Probably not. But you know, like, maybe I could start ascending this next mountaintop if I'm so bored up here.
Yeah.
It's not like you climb the mountain and you plan on living there.
Yeah.
You're like, I just wanted to see what it was like. This was a great experience.
Yes, always just build your perspective. And that's why, so I've been hearing that the time to take drugs, to drop acid, to get into psychedelics is when you're there.
Yeah.
Because they're so good. I know that there's all kinds of studies coming out about how good, like, psilocybin is for breaking addiction, right?
Yeah.
And so, so that's the time to take it. I wish that I could convince, like, my stepdad, who is this person who has had all of these health issues come up and has been shit on in life so many times that he has been fucking pressure cooked into this rock. And
needs something to loosen him up.
Yeah, he
to
needs
show
to
him that other perspective.
Exactly. And especially if you're somebody who's never taken drugs, you know? I think that I'm probably going to do it a few more times in, you know, the coming years. Maybe the next one. Oh, no, that is where I want to
That's fine.
But I'm going to fucking do drugs a couple more times in the coming years. But I feel like, you know, when I'm like in my late 20s or something, I'm probably going to take this gnarly-ass hiatus. Yeah. But I know for certain that I'm going to take it again when I'm, like, in my late 40s, because I can already feel myself becoming a person that is providing excuses. Like, I oh, that's just how I am. That kind of,
Yeah.
how many fucking people...
That's just my nature.
Exactly. How
Yeah.
many 40-year-olds do you know that treat that as
As
a
the goal.
reason? Yeah.
Well, I work hard and I don't have time.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
so fucking common, and I'm terrified of that. And I know people that are our age, that are in their 20s, that are
Already like that.
Are already like that.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, that's who I am. Or
Well,
I know that about myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I find that is like naive.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are.
Oh, you're done? Like,
yeah, okay. Just stop growing.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, very cool.
It's like when people have a kid.
Enjoy the next 60 years.
And they stop working on themselves because they got to work on their kid.
Huh.
But I know plenty of fucking people
Mm-hmm.
that continue to work on themselves and have a kid.
Right.
It isn't impossible.
Yeah.
It's just how hard do you want to work?
Yeah.
Or how I mean, I know that there's you know, like your kid might be sickly or
Right.
or
there's always a spectrum. There's always
a
gray
spectrum.
area.
I'm not trying to be that guy telling anybody
For
to do
sure.
anything, but like, hey, believe in yourself and you will get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
believe in
Amen.
yourself and you will get it done, and be
Yeah.
proud of yourself.
And it's
for no
not
matter
can you, it's will you.
It's exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hey, fucking man.
And for every will I that doesn't come through, well, hopefully that's just a door that you didn't need to open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
there's
there's
more
no
fucking doors.
There's no changing it once you decide not to do it. You can only better use that next time.
Yeah.
And hopefully not need the excuse.
Yeah, and recognize our humanity, you know? Like, I get trapped in that a lot. Like, oh, these fucking terrible choices I made when I was 17.
Exactly.
You know? And
yeah, what did you know?
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck do I know now? I'm going to be so convinced that I was an idiot in 20 years.
Oh,
because of what a limited perspective I have had.
Yeah. I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
believe it.
got what, like 6 years on you?
Uh-huh.
And I do it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And I talk to my parents, they do it all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm. That's never
man.
going to end.
It never ends.
Never
and
gonna
so just don't be mad at yourself.
Yeah.
Just instead of using that energy to feel ashamed of yourself for not doing something,
Yeah.
turn it around. Use that energy to do something positive for yourself. Don't beat yourself up,
Yeah.
because what good does that do to anybody?
Yeah, you're not helping. No one is being helped by self-flagellation.
No.
You know, I feel like I've gotten trapped, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, in this hole of feeling like hating yourself is how you repay the people that you've wronged.
Yeah.
And it's not the case. You just have to change.
Well, because then you're just making yourself worth less.
Exactly.
Not worthless, but worth less.
Even less.
You're not worthless. You're just devaluing your time here.
Yeah, exactly.
No one, like we were talking about the other day, no one wants that dude that comes to work and fucking brings all his emotional trauma to work and like, oh,
Yeah.
well, it just built up and now here it is. Well, no,
Yeah.
you could have been doing the work.
Yeah.
You could have taken yourself out of today.
In the same amount of time that you have complained about yourself and your situation, you could have already come up with so many solutions
Yeah.
and implemented them. Like, fuck. Fuck. Just shut up. No. Don't shut up. But,
No, it's just silly, like where if you're feeling the lack of pride, you shouldn't be mad at yourself. You should just start doing the things that you know
yeah.
would make you feel better.
And you know.
And I'm sitting here all the time like, man, if I just start this, I'm gonna feel so good.
Yep.
I'm gonna feel like $100, and then I sit there and I actively oppose it.
Yes.
And I compress it
Me
into this
with
little
a fucking run every day.
Dude, I do it all the fucking time. It gives me chills thinking about how angry it makes me at
I
myself.
know, right? Yes. Yep.
And I do it anyway.
And it's never too late.
No, it's never too late.
Never too late. Like every second that goes by that we continue to loathe ourselves because of past actions and past decisions, it's just, there goes another opportunity to fix it. There goes another opportunity to make a change.
Well, and that pathway in your brain, like neurologically, just starts going there more and more. It's like a sinkhole.
Yeah.
And the edges are just falling
Yeah,
in.
it has velocity.
Yeah.
You are falling, and 9 meters per second every second.
Yeah.
At an increase of 9 meters per second.
Well, they say
and when you hit terminal velocity, you fucking die.
Yeah. Well, it's like a rolling stone gathers no moss, but moss is still going fast. You're a moss cultivator. Like, until you forget about the rock. until, and that's the whole thing, and then the rock just becomes it becomes the ground. It doesn't, and that's just the absence of you. And maybe one day someone will come around and they'll dig you up and dust you off and go, wow, what a cool rock.
And then all of the fucking the gold that will fall into your pockets upon some validation from the outside.
Exactly. But at a certain point, you might not be seen if you're not making the active decision to get out of your house, to fucking do the thing you need to do to feel better. Man, I wish I just had some people to hang out with. Well, then go to fucking karaoke night at your local bar. Go get fucking drunk with strangers. Go fucking on a walk. Go sit on a bench by a stranger and say hello.
Think of the people that, just take a moment and think of the people that you wish you were around 24/7. Think of the most impressive people. Think of the people that are the most deserving of your attention, and then realize, what are they doing? They're not hating themselves.
They're not on the moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're right down the street.
They're right fucking there. And it's so easy to implement that status. A, live life to the fullest. B, recognize your humanity. And 3.
And number 3.
Yeah, and number 3.
Letter 3.
Fucking treat yourself and others how you wish.
The golden
you
rule.
Could. Yeah.
Golden rule it up. Well, and that, dude, I'm really glad that we made the parallel that the golden rule is something is both ways.
Yeah.
And not enough people do that. I mean, fuck, I didn't even think of it. I mean, I do it that way, but I didn't think of it. That
was groundbreaking.
A nice digestible thing.
Golden rule flows both ways.
Golden rule flows both ways.
I like that. Don't fucking forget it too.
Yeah, fucking tattoo that shit.
That's the hardest thing. Practice. So I have lived for a long time that perfect practice makes perfect, which I had to revert. Like I had to swap back around to practice makes perfect, and eventually it's probably just going to boil down to practice. Period.
Yeah.
But
this is
you have to fucking constantly. At least I do. There's probably some very smart people that can hear something once or even twice.
Oh,
and then
that's like the natural
the
talent is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, fucking there you go.
But that's the whole thing is you see the kid that's playing piano and you go, wow, he's gonna be huge. And you never hear about him again once he's 12 because he doesn't like playing piano. He liked playing piano and he burned himself out on it. You know, his parents are making him go, now, oh, my kid's a fucking savant. And
the money that could come in.
Oh, we gotta support this kid to a detriment.
Drive.
Yeah.
And then there goes all of that natural, organic passion.
Yep. Well, it's like, oh, play for the neighbors, honey.
Yeah.
Play for this, play for that.
Please dance, monkey.
Just suck the...
Have you ever been dance monkeyed
Oh,
before?
100%.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, tell that joke again.
Oh, yeah.
Draw. Can you
draw something?
Can you draw me?
Yeah.
Fuck
God.
you. No, I can't.
Or
I don't want to. I don't have any. Well, what's so good about you?
Yeah. What's so fucking good about you?
I could.
Oh man.
This is like what you were saying about practice perfectly. It makes me think of, I can't remember. I'm probably gonna butcher it, but I think it's Michelangelo. Michelangelo did David, right?
Yes. Did you know that David's fucking 50 feet tall?
No.
It's not the size of a regular person. It is 45. It's exactly 45 feet tall. You see a picture of somebody.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, that must be so cool. No, people have to get on a fucking crane to get up to, be the same size as the head.
That's
anyway,
nuts.
Go ahead.
But he wasn't allowed to use he wasn't allowed to sculpt because working with your hands was beneath a higher born child.
Oh, he was
and one day, and he would just stare at marble all the time, and someone asked him, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sculpting. I'm working." And then when he was of age and able to do his own thing, he did David.
Oh yeah.
and there it is, because he was practicing in his mind.
I think it was Michelangelo, but I read some fucking internet meme that was that was he sculpted something super beautiful and then buried it so that somebody would come up on it and be like, oh wow, look at this fucking ancient Roman, or my timeline's all fucked up, but
Yeah.
You want to go left or you want to go right?
Left just goes up and loops back around.
Okay, let's do that.
We'll come down this way.
Don't even know if it was Michelangelo, but this fucking sculptor buried something, and then they uncovered it and like, wow, look at this great Roman architect. He's like, ha, it was me, motherfucker. I'm just as good as the old Romans.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what it takes to have other people be proud of what you're doing. Because there's all of the people that have refined the thing that you are aspiring to get to. There's the elite that have standards, and there's so many rules and regulations to be a great sculptor, a great archaeologist, a great painter, whatever, whatever the fuck it is. And that's not necessarily true. Because just like that, sometimes you have to die. And then they go, wow, you know what? Leonardo da Vinci was a great painter.
He really did have it figured out.
Now that his crazy fucking own brain isn't getting in the way of trying to make us like it, we like it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I buried it and I found it and I pulled one over on you. This is me, fucker.
This is me, fucker.
What like don't have like there's not rules, and it's like all the people that love to sing but are never going to be famous don't not sing.
Oh yeah.
Because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Or people that want to sing because they think it's going to make them feel good but it never did. Why are you putting yourself in a position where you have a level of skill and you might not ever get above that? Like, you're not a singer. You see all those people on American Idol that are that just made a fool of themselves on TV because they wanted something more than reality. Like, they got that you get in your own way and don't see that you could probably spend your energy better on something else. But there's a talent show and I want to be able to be a singer, but is that really making you happy? And if it is, then
yes.
Or are you dance monkeying?
Yeah.
Because they said I'd be great, but are they telling you that because you're going to be ridiculed? No, or because they know you're going to be ridiculed on fucking TV because it's good TV?
Oh, what an evil fucking concept.
Because all those people get pre-screened before they even go talk to the judges.
Yeah. Somebody knew. Yeah. Somebody knew
Someone's
this was going to be embarrassing, but they still fucking just threw you up there, threw you to the wolves.
Yep. On purpose.
Yeah.
It's there. That's the whole thing. There are predators everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you're doing what you want to do, at least you'll combat predators on your own terms.
That's true.
Like, you don't. What do you know about living in the Arctic? Probably not much. So you probably are not going to have a good time fighting things that live there. You're not going to go swim around in the water and know how to deal with a leopard seal. Like, that's just not what you don't know the rules. But like, you're out in the woods. What do you do when you see a bear? You fucking get big, or depending on the bear, or you fucking play dead. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, make sound. Or it's a mountain lion. You get big. You yell. You clack stuff. Like, someone from the city doesn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
They have no clue.
That's true. To an extent, you got to play your strengths a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
don't fucking throw yourself to wolves for the sake of throwing yourself to the wolves. That everybody has their arena that they need to push through, but find it. Don't just fucking. I mean, I knew a guy when I was in the fucking this agency. When I was working for this agency, this guy would run through blackberry bushes all the time.
Yeah.
And that was his whole point. Like, I think there was some bits and pieces going on to it for him psychologically. Like, he had an older brother that was in the military that I think he was largely,
just hardening himself.
Yeah, he was living in that person's shadow a lot. And so as a result of this, I think he wanted to become as
hard.
Yes, as calloused in every aspect as he could.
Aversion to physical damage.
But you don't need to do that. Like, you really fucking... I get that we have... I don't know if this is just an aspect of American culture. It's really more of a Chinese work ethic kind of thing. I was listening to something earlier, and they were talking about how the Chinese like scoff at American work ethic because they work just absolute insane hours and don't really get paid overtime, and it's all about like the fucking just
machismo,
perform and conform. But for what? For fucking what? Like you're, you know, like I do think it's good to find your limits and to test them, but don't kill yourself.
Don't do nothing to a detriment.
Yeah, I have some experience in this arena working. I'm a hotshot, and I've only done it for one season. And depending on who you ask, maybe I'm not so much of a hotshot.
Yeah.
But because I'm not doing 400 push-ups a day. But But I've been witness to that firsthand. I've been witness to like me and my boys on some ridgeline somewhere that has like a 800% grade, where it's so vertical that it's upside down or some shit on a mountain somewhere, protecting the stupidest asset in the world. Some fucking guy who decided to, and you know it's a guy, who decided to build his house in the middle of a forest somewhere with fuels all around him.
And never maintained it.
Never maintained it, created no defensible space. Why are we fucking here? What is the purpose of being here? I could lose my fucking life right now to protect what? This guy's like $1 million house.
Yeah.
You know, why are you pushing your limits? For what reason?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people.
What is the value of this of putting myself in this chopping block?
Exactly.
Well, and that's for me, a good example of this is like I will probably never feel comfortable with my shirt off.
Oh, really?
And I'm just not it's because my other family members are just naturally I'm not ugly, I'm not fat, I'm not any of these things.
You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
You're fucking so beautiful.
And that's the whole thing. It's like I do know that I'm not the fucking worst thing in the world.
You're not.
But I have this little bit of belly fat, and that's enough to make me so uncomfortable. Yeah. And not proud of all the work. It doesn't matter how much I work. I'm never gonna feel proud of it.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate. And but I know by saying I'm never, that I'm just putting myself in that box. And I'm trying actively to not do that. And just for the sake of bringing it up, I give you my negative self-talk that keeps me from being proud.
Yeah.
And
it ties back
I go, I have 4 abs that show and 2 that are under a light film of belly fat.
Yep. But that's enough.
And that's enough.
To just be debilitating.
And I don't belittle how I feel about it because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make myself, I could be doing more to make myself feel better. But instead I focus on it and I don't get better.
Yeah.
And you get in your own way so hard.
And it's hard to, because I relate to that. I'm surrounded by the fittest fucking people.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, there's like my success is directly tied to my fitness.
Yeah.
And so there's that. There's that on top of the just being a person and being exposed to all kinds of like perfect standards of beauty.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of and this is something that I want to talk about too, but we're in a very beautiful place right now in a lot of different ways. And I think it is a result of technology, because now we can just expose a lot of like uglier sides of our culture that
you have a contrast.
Really but I think we're getting closer and closer to a pretty good place right now. Don't feel like we're in a terrible time. I know there's fucking COVID and that's awful, and your feelings about the previous president, whatever. Where's the line? There it is.
Where's the line? Who knows?
Yeah.
But things are fucking good.
Things are really fucking good right now. Like, a lot of things are coming to light. People are being given rights in the proper ways, I think, right now. We have all kinds of new ways to connect with new people. I think that we're getting closer to people being more inclusive than exclusive, because I know that we've been in a pretty divisive time.
Yeah, the last 10 years
Yeah,
or so.
exactly.
Or
Yeah.
even more so.
Yeah.
But, like, in this coming to light period,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've been ashamed to be American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like the people I associate myself with are the ones that are being...
That are,
you know,
perpetuating that.
It sucks because it's like, you turn the light on and where is everybody?
Yeah.
Where are all these bad guys that I keep hearing all about? Well, they're not around me. And why should I be ashamed of my America?
Yeah.
Because in my circle, everything is fucking great.
Yeah.
And everybody's inclusive.
And we all live in America.
And we all live in America. We're
Yep.
all Americans. And there's fucking... I'm starting to choose to be more proud of it. Because...
Good.
And the shitty thing is I was so ashamed of it that I can't even vote.
Huh.
And I get into this headspace where it's like,
where's
fuck!
if
Like,
my vote is the fucking
Yeah.
like most obvious and immediate like source of power that I have, and it's the one of the most powerful decisions that I am to make.
Yeah.
How can I decide off of one person and the other when you don't know where the money comes from?
Yeah, or
motivations for this decision.
Yeah,
and,
I'm in California. It's going to be blue no matter what. There's nothing I can do.
All this different shit. Yeah.
And I feel like for the time that we went to school and just like the lack of funding, lack of education, lack of, you know, here's a packet, do your packet.
Oh, God.
I don't have a teacher. I have a distributor of junk mail that I don't want to fucking do.
Yeah.
So I haven't been proud for a very long time of this. I mean, I love the natural aspect of this country is off the charts.
Yeah.
I love being here.
Yeah.
I just fucking can't get behind how it's being run.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix it. And I know, but I do because it's voting. It's
Yeah.
doing these things. But I was so ashamed of being in it and it
Yeah.
being this way that now that the torch is in my hand, I go, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I know I can't do that.
It's hard because I feel like the obvious response to being exposed to some shit that you don't like is to not support it, right?
Yeah.
Like when people are fucking boycott this, boycott that.
I'm
right?
leaving America. He's not my president.
Oh, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
good
what does that
example,
do?
too.
Now the fighters have left, and it's just gonna get tilled over.
Exactly. If you don't fight it, if you like, not participating is not fighting in this arena specifically. Because if you hate fucking Starbucks, you cannot go there and you're winning. Like by not supporting that business and that little aspect, you know, by not supporting that business, you're winning. By not participating, you're winning because they're not getting that dollar from you. But and when it comes to voting, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Which is hard to digest. I think like the natural response, be it you know, natural or nurtured, is to fucking not participate, is to boycott, is to strike. When a lot of people hate how work is going, they go on strike. They don't show up to work. But you can't do that with voting because there's going to be motherfuckers that, you know, that get in there and vote against you. And so long as there's even one of those people, it's going to be perpetuated. Yeah. Like, so long as there's even one person that's like, well, I'm going to go vote for this guy that I want, then guess what? You've lost by not participating. And so, which is, you know, that was what's happened with a lot of different strikes. Like, people will decide to not come into work on a larger scale. You know, none of us are going to show up to work. That way this industry crashes, this specific business crashes, and then, and right before it gets to that point, hopefully they will get into the position where they decide to meet our demands. Yeah. And, but there's the scalpers. There's the fucking 65-year-old Trump voters.
Oh well, you're playing the field. Mm-hmm. They're like they're the predators in every ecosystem. Yeah. Or not predators, and really so much in this because everyone's opinion matters, regardless of how fucked up it is to you. Yeah. But that's America. Yeah. You know, majority rule.
It's very dog eat dog world, and it is majority rule.
Yeah, but it's so crazy. Yeah. Shit, it's so weird to be coming out of this. I just feel like I wasn't set up to take care of it. I feel like I haven't been given the tools to truly make educated decisions and do things that I can be proud of because they weren't taught to me.
Yeah.
I'm
and
not from a patriotic family, really. I mean, more or less, yeah. My family votes,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like it's never been like, you need to do this. This
Right.
is why it's important.
Huh.
We need you to fucking participate and teach me the way.
Yeah.
I don't really have that. It's always been, well, we respect however you're gonna come to it. Whenever it's your time, you're gonna figure it out.
I'm much more like passive.
Yeah,
approach to it.
like you know, like religiously agnostic and like we're kind of liberal, we're kind of this, we're whatever.
Yeah.
We don't need creeds. So I'm from a place of no creeds, and what that does is just there's just confusion when it comes to dealing with people with creeds. You know, like, oh, I'm a Republican. Well, I don't really get that because I don't honestly know exactly what that means. I don't have the know-how to combat you. But now that I have the opportunity to. Like, I can figure it out now on my own and ask questions. But I'm starting from a very, I wouldn't say ignorant place because I'm willing to receive the information. But it's an uninformed place.
That's a good point. Maybe I like that. And maybe therein lies the difference between ignorance and being uninformed.
Well, and there's such a you need to know now.
Yeah.
We need your vote now. It's like, well, fuck, I'm catching up.
I'm gonna pee on this tree.
Pee on that tree, dude. Here at the beautiful Ukiah Municipal Dump.
I used to volunteered at that animal shelter right there for like one summer.
You put all the dogs in the oven?
Oh god, dude, so fucking sad. That's why I never went back. What's that? What is that smoke coming from the fucking animal shelter? Oh god.
Puppy briquettes. Very sad. I have a very narrow pee hole. It takes me 45 minutes to pee.
Like Hank Hill? Oh, there's my phone.
What are you? I gotta narrow your urethra.
Your father worked so hard to have you. God bless fucking King of the Hill.
Oh,
man.
King of the Hill's great. Putting people that don't understand another way in, just throwing them in discomfort all the time. That's the whole thing. It's like, if you grow up with a creed, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Then you're extremely blind to the other side because you know what's right. You come in knowing what's right.
Yeah.
I came in and I've just been analyzing the whole time.
Everything.
I'm a tumbleweed on the I-5. And
you're being exposed to Ford F-350s and smart cars.
Exactly.
Both radical ends of the spectrum.
And they both run me over.
Yeah. God, you love the practicality of having a truck, but you also really like that gas mileage.
Oh, indeed. It's just interesting. I'm trying to be more proud, and I realize that that's something I've always had a lack of pride, and maybe that's because I was bullied as a kid, and things that I was excited about early on got stifled, not by my family, because they were always supportive and wanted me to do it, but by the education system. You know, I'd get bullied, and they'd move me.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, and it
is very, like, attack the problem, not the fucking, oh my god. Attack the virus rather than change the host, you know?
Yeah, and I just kept getting bumped around. I mean, I didn't have to, like, move a lot. Like, some people, you know, and that's the difference. It's like, some people move a lot and never leave the same school.
Yeah.
And you might know everybody now, but when you're 7 or 8 years old, it's a lot. Yeah. And you make things your fault, and you build shame.
I remember thinking that about people that, like, had to get switched between classes a lot, or had some kind of, like, drama between themselves or their family and the school system as a result of either how their peers treated them, or their difficulty with handling a specific subject or something.
Yeah.
And we're so judgmental in that incredibly developmental stage in our lives. Like, I don't know if it's because we're embarrassed by everything, and so as soon as something pops off, we latch onto it and point our fingers because we don't want anybody to notice us.
Yeah, you don't want to be the sore thumb because the sore thumb gets, kicked.
Fucking kicked, yeah.
Well, and that's like
the nail that sticks out gets hammered down.
Oh, that's like you cut your foot open and the dude stomps on your foot because your shoe's off. And that happens. And you go, ow, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not safe. And then you just associate like growing up with being unsafe. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I'm more so analytical than other people, is because when you're bullied a lot, you really look at everything as a potential threat.
Yeah.
And I take pride in protecting my friends from threats. I like to take care of people. Mm-hmm. I like to provide, and I think that might be why I have, a lot of younger friends, is because I like shepherding them through, those mental things where you're down on yourself and it makes no sense. You're like, dude, no, but you're a great guy. Like,
you really helped me with that specifically at one point. I think it was last time we did acid together, but you said like the words that fucking like turn so many keys inside my brain. Let me save you 7 years, Todd. Let me save you 10 fucking years, Todd.
Just get over this now.
Remember that conversation?
Yeah, man, that was a Bullfrog Dart classic.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I can't wait to talk about the Bullfrog Dart.
Yes, that we will definitely get there.
Yeah, and I know it's not necessarily on the subject of pride, but I really hope that we don't lose the momentum as a culture that we have going right now, because I think of all of the different societies in time. I can't even say the word society without thinking of like
we live in a society.
Yeah, but it's like the modern like Triggered. You remember when you couldn't even fucking like Triggered had a very real like medicinal definition.
Yeah.
And we just turned it like
it's a meme.
It's a fucking meme now. Yeah, and so is the word society, but. So many societies across time have gone through their renaissance, obviously the most obvious example is like the Italian Renaissance and how much it's this explosion of art and fucking technology increasing. Leonardo was there for some of it probably. And Rome is another example, and Great Britain, and the problem is that all of these things collapsed as a result of the economics and the politics, but I really hope that we don't lose this, because the natural, everything always comes in waves. It always peaks and valleys. Like you have Republicans in office and then you have Democrats, and it's always switching the coin, flipping the coin. Yeah. But I hope that we maintain this momentum and come to a place where we are incredibly inclusive and very, very compassionate. I fucking pray.
I just hope that it's shepherded to be like, to where there's an understanding and a place for humor, where there's a place for fucking around, Yeah,
that's true too.
And where we all where you can realize, well, I'm not making fun of transgender people when I say, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" I'm not attacking you.
Oh, by like calling somebody.
Yeah,
bro?
by bro, or do like all these trigger words can. Either it's going to be, because I don't want to lose saying dude to people, because I say dude to girls, I say dude to guys, I say dude to anybody. Yeah.
I feel it's very dude is inclusive.
It is. It's inclusive. It's like, yo, dude, like I love you, dude. Like, what's up?
And ideally, it's something. For me, it's like. It is just very inclusive, because it doesn't assume somebody's pronouns, And I guess you can, if you're smart, get away with calling somebody something that is gender neutral before you've met them, because that's always the thing. And once you met them, you have their name, and then just a few minutes later, you probably have their pronouns. But
exactly.
But don't take dude from me.
Well, I feel like it's, if you're there's a lot of work being done to make all these pronouns and do all the things that are necessary for equality, and I'm down with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to give people time to catch up.
You do. Yeah,
and you can't just rip somebody's head off.
That's true. In the spirit of making sure that you are catered to, by everybody else using the pronouns that you prefer. Yeah, include the people that are still trying to figure it out a little bit. Like,
yeah, well, because if you fight them, they're not going to want to cooperate with you.
Exactly, and you just further the divide.
Yeah, well, because like imagine calling a grizzled, rough cowboy man a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
He gets pissed as fuck.
Yeah.
Are you calling a pussy? You don't know what I do.
Gruff, 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 gruff.
Yeah, gruff. And it's the same thing. It's like, well, it's not really the same thing because you're actively calling him something.
Yeah, that's
he isn't.
different. It's like, I mean, yeah.
Well, but that cowboy doesn't have to go, well, I know I'm not a pussy. You know, anyone who's, if you're reacting to the point where you blank out and go red, you just leave room for people to observe you from the outside and go, well, see, this is why we can't give these people a platform.
Yeah,
because this is what happens when these people get a platform.
Yeah, you like, there is this, like, inconsiderate group of people that you have to consider when you are making any kind of decision, any kind of grand decision, especially. Like, you as irritating as it is, and as much power as we can find in just writing people off and removing them from our lives, I feel like it is more beneficial on the whole to be inclusive even to those people. Like, you fucking...
Well, it's worth the time because they're still people.
Yeah,
and
they
everyone
are.
just wants to
They
fucking
are.
exist as they are and be proud of, and just you don't have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be something you have to fight about.
Yeah.
And that's why we fight about it. You know, it's, you got to fight for what you believe in, because if you don't, then people are going to take it away from you, and then it's gone. And then all the benefits of everybody who fought for being gay and or fought for being trans now or whatever, like, you can't drop it, because if you do, it might revert back to this dark time.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of dude, it's such a weird, it's a turbulent time. I want everyone to be able to be proud of what they are.
Yeah. And I think,
unless it's like being a fucking racist piece of shit.
Yeah. And the one thing that I tend to operate on this policy, and this isn't exactly what we're talking about, and also it might be something that I change in the next few months, but I do think that at the same time as all of this, I do think that people, the only thing that everyone is too good for is abuse. Like, I think that you need to be humble enough to accept the fact that A, you're gonna make mistakes, and B, people are going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Just kind of in general, like you can't be so fucking not sure of yourself, but just brittle. You can't be so stiff.
Yeah, you got to be goo.
Yeah, you got to be goo.
You got to be able to take in some punches.
You need to flow. You need to be able to move. You need to be flexible. But when abuse comes, that's when you fucking put your foot down.
Well, it's like there's a difference between when your brother or sister teases you, and some dude punching you in the face.
That's, you know what, dude? That's what it is. 90% of the time, it's brothers and sisters teasing you.
Yeah.
Like, if we're all brothers and sisters, if we're all related, depending on how you view the world, it's just people teasing.
Well, and that's the funny thing is like when I started dating my girlfriend. Or before we started dating, when we were getting to know each other, she's Christian, and I would kind of poke and prod at it, but not being disrespectful, not trying to be disrespectful, but just like, obviously to me, teasing, and she thought I was being very serious, and I had to, I'm like, I will never belittle you for your religion.
Never try to hurt
this
you.
is just the information I have, and I'm an older brother. How I get to know you is by finding your stress points and not so much enacting like a strike on you, but seeing what I can joke about with you. How serious do you take yourself? Because it shouldn't matter what I think about God or whatever. We're just talking. We're just having a fun time. We're like, I'm not trying to say to change your mind.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you you're doing anything wrong. I'm just like, oh yeah, here comes. I don't know. I can't even think of a thing right now.
None of it is about like trying to push you over an edge. None of it is about trying to push someone over an edge or change how they think about themselves or view the world. It is instead just like finding limits, and it's important to know those so that you don't pass them. And it's oh fucking God, it's such a difficult conversation to have.
It is.
Because everybody wants to make jokes.
Exactly.
And some people do not want jokes to be made about them. And there's some shit.
But those people oftentimes make a lot of jokes. And then what do? You go, well, fuck you. You get it too.
Yeah.
What you can't
make it special that you can't take.
You can't
shit.
fucking take the shit. Yeah. You're dishing it out.
But that's the kind of people that we are specifically.
Yeah, we're playing.
We play and we poke and we make fun, and that's how I connect with people, and that's how you connect with people. And some people defer, and that means that. We can't do drugs together.
Well, it's like we're just probably not going to be able to hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
But like, and the same thing with like, it's where it's like when you know somebody well enough where you're different races and you're like, oh yeah, this is why your people are this way, and but they know you're kidding. They know you're not racist. It's like when my coworker was like, yeah, man, I was playing basketball in Sacramento, and I was playing with these black guys. And they're all, man, you can say the N-word whenever you want around us. Because you fucking kick ass at basketball. Like, you one of us, man. Like, you're in the club. And it's just, and not that he even enacted being able to say that.
Right.
But it's just funny that, like, you bringing race into something because it shouldn't matter at all.
Yeah.
But there's identifiers that people can pick up and play with.
And there's like a history of oppression for so many different races. It's hard because there's people of every different kind of race feel differently. Like there is opposing ends of the spectrum of people in terms of what you should be able to joke about, what you shouldn't be able to joke about in every walk of life. And all it is just fucking, for the majority of our lives, we're gonna be interacting with people one-on-one, The majority of us aren't going to be thrown onto a pedestal and have to seriously watch what we say, because now we have a platform.
Yeah,
we have the ability to influence how people think and act. So the majority of the time, just ask people what they want and how they feel and what they want to see from you and what they want their surroundings to be like. And if you're not a fucking asshole, conform to that a little bit. Nobody wants to be an obvious obstacle in somebody else's comfort.
No, and don't let other people who are outside of the bubble that you're acting in, and you're playing around with your friends that are Mexican or that are black or that are whatever, and you make like a because that's what lowbrow humor is kind of tilling up, like giving like ha because you're that.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, it's because you're fucking white. And that's the funny thing, because right now it's white people have historically been the oppressors, and so now it's acceptable to belittle white people and make white people feel bad for being white people. And it's no better than, it's still racist. It's just white people either don't care or whatever. It's just such a funny thing, because everyone just wants to be fucking proud of where they come from, what they're doing, what their path is in life, and that's really what you're stepping on. Because if you're not if you didn't come from like a traditional Mexican family with fucking, you fucking celebrate like Cinco de Mayo and or whatever the holiday is or feeling is, a racial slur might not be as big a deal to you as it is to somebody from Mexico who does the things, who is devout in their being a Latino person. Like it's just really, it really depends on the individual so much.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how deeply somebody cares about something.
Yeah.
But I would love to see it. Like, if I make a thing at somebody, if I'm, like, playing and but that's the whole thing, like, I usually am scouting out. Like, I'm not coming at you with fucking racial comments.
Yeah, of course.
Until I fucking know you. Maybe you did one to me, and I go, oh, okay, well, if you can do it to me,
I can play here.
We're playing now.
Yeah, we can play.
And this is fun. But I'm not going to walk up to some random dude and be like, oh, yeah.
Could you imagine, dude? And some people live that truth.
Oh, they do.
Which is fucking nuts. So I watched, some YouTuber. But he was talking about how he was, there were people protesting an abortion clinic, right? It was either that or some, like, gay pride event. But typically that kind of protest comes from the same genre of people, right? It's like people is the Westboro Baptist Church, which is like a lot of protests against abortion and against homosexuality, because that's how they were brought up. And there was, I think it was protesting a gay pride event. Yeah. And one of the people who were participating in the gay pride event came up and was like, "Hey, can I hug you?" And the person protesting said, "Of course. Yeah. Of course you can hug me. Yeah. I just, like, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I just don't want you to go to hell." Now, that is not always the case. Definitely not always the case. Definitely. A lot of the time, the fear of homosexuality can come from a place of hate. Yeah. Or the fear of whatever is against your culture or your upbringing can come from a place of hate. But I loved that idea. Like, these are simply, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated because one is a choice and one isn't. But they are people with very opposing views in one way or another. Yeah. Like, but still they can hug. But still they don't wish harm upon one another. This person who was protesting this event just didn't want them to go to hell. Exactly. They Let it care come from about a place them. Of love. Yeah. And so start there. Start with teaching that we all need to come from a place of love, and everything else will just fall into place. Yeah.
Well, enacting from fear just leads to more fear. Mm-hmm. And that's like the villain Scarecrow. Is his whole thing is everyone does things based on what they're afraid of, and and the fear is the wolf driving you off the cliff. Right. And I don't believe that, but I know I do believe that because I do and I don't. I choose to not live from that place. Yeah. Because it doesn't do us any good. But I know it's there, and I know I have all these, like, the operating system I'm running on has a lot of things I'm afraid of. Yeah. But I am actively challenging them all the time. Yeah. And good for you. I think you have to. Yeah. Because if you're not challenging things that you don't understand, then you're just gonna fucking be afraid of them for the rest of your life. Yeah. And gays are always gonna be scary. Right. And they're just trying to bring you down to hell, and they're all sinners and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. But no, it's not. It's fucking just as much of what's worse, fucking suppressing your fucking nature forever and hiding and living in hell. Ugh. So what? You can maybe go to heaven? Do you know? It's just as much dude, it's so weird. And then there's there's so much confusion when you allow yourself to make decisions based on fear. Yeah. It's mobs.
And conflict. There's so much rubbing and friction between you and other people or other events, catalysts in your life. Yeah. When you live in and come from a place of fear. Yeah. But God, love. That's going to be a fucking excellent Nitro Ride at some point.
Yes, I'm very good. I mean, aren't we always?
We are always talking about love. It's the forefront. It needs to be the basis of all actions, and it's a very uncomfortable topic for a lot of people because of where they come from or where they're brought up. But to bring it back to our actual topic of pride, I think that I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. No. To be proud. I think that it can take you to a place that is lacking in humility. It can remove you from the beautiful landscape of humble.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that we should necessarily actively combat.
No, I don't either. I think
Yeah.
it's something that if you let happen naturally,
Yeah.
things will check and balance you out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's good to be overzealous occasionally and get stomped on.
Yeah.
To be like, no, you're okay, no.
Live, don't
Do it, but be open to understanding that you might be a little too much right now.
Yeah. That's always act. Always have a plan. What's that Theodore Roosevelt fucking phrase?
Teddy.
I know, my man.
My man.
Papa Conservation. He says, like, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The second best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing that you can do is nothing. So have your plan, Don't workshop your plan to the point of oblivion. Don't spend years not acting so that when you do eventually act, it is the perfect thing.
Yeah.
Instead, be flexible. Act. Make a terrible fucking plan. make an absolute garbage plan, but learn from it.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna do it regardless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whether that garbage plan is living in your mom's basement until you're 40 and realizing that, oh fuck, like I wasted a lot of time, but my imagination's really good. I'm gonna start writing comics.
There you go.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you learned in that place.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's all fucking important.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everything is happening all at once. Like I was saying the other day, everything's happening.
Yeah.
And
how involved are you going to be?
Yeah, how involved are you going to be? I don't know. I was going to say something else. I forgot what I was going to say.
You want to close it up?
No! No, I'm just glad that in being myself and trying to find that hawk.
Where is he?
Right on the line.
God.
In finding things that I can do that, the natural feel-goods, like I'm proud of myself right now. And the things that has brought into my existence, like all the friends and all the weird situations that I've learned from. And that's really something to pride as a navigator. Like, this feels good. I did a good job. I attracted this to me. Like, let's keep going.
Right.
Let's fucking do something with this. It's momentum. It's feeling.
Oh, that feels good. So let's keep doing it.
Yeah, it feels good. Like, fuck yeah, hit the button.
Yeah.
And now I remember what I was gonna say. Because there's the chakra system for energy, and I like to think of things in that occasion. It's a good reference tool. I might not totally be down for like everything about it, but I have really no qualms. But a chakra point is just a wheel, and it's spinning, and it either spins one way or the other. But it can spin too fast or too slow, and if it is, it's not flowing correctly. It's either pushing or preventing energy. And if you're all aligned, like, oh, I cleansed my chakra. It's like, it's a reference tool to like, oh, your heart chakra. Oh, like, oh man, yeah, I really let that go that was hurting me. I let go of something, or I chose to let love in, or whatever, or like pride, like, I'm so proud, and it's just the wheel is just like, just fucking smoking.
Oh God.
Or I'm not proud enough, and I don't know. Yeah, I guess my art is good. I don't know. I'm just making it at this point. Like,
just shitting out art.
Just like, just deflated.
Yeah.
Where you're not in it at all.
Pride can be very much like a downstream component of passion,
Yeah.
And I think, maybe you can be proud of things that you weren't necessarily passionate about. You can do good at shit that you don't care about.
Yeah.
But the true pride and like some of the most powerful pride that you can get your hands on, I feel like is typically tied to passion.
Yeah. No, plug in the passion, man. It's nothing feels better than when you do that thing that just makes you feel like it's like you're doing a series of something. You're writing a poem, or you're doing like you're doing a bunch of something. You're doing a bunch of drawings, and you realize like, oh man, yeah, like I'm just gonna keep going with this. This is good. When you can definitively label it good, and you believe it. The first one might not even be good, but just getting on that track and starting the momentum, you need it. Yeah. You need to be able to approve of what you're doing. Yeah. Because if you can't, no one is going to get you there.
Yeah. You have to love yourself and your own.
Oh man, golden rule, baby.
Else. Yeah. yeah. There it is. There it is again.
There it is again.
What a fucking excellent little
woohoo.
A little hand. A little helping hand.
No, it's good. Well, look at it this way. So this vineyard, the Fry Vineyard, they're the first organic vineyard ever, or winery ever, and they are so proud of that they get to do that. And if you look around, it's all the vineyards are theirs. You know,
they have a lot of.
They have a lot of fucking vineyard. They're out, and none of them flex on that they have deals with certain stores or whatever. Yeah. They're a good community driven. Yeah. They use their good. They use the thing that the pride of working so hard to give a product that is so good to give back to the community and use it and boost other people up. Make find those people that might be doubtful that they're going to be able to do anything with this talent or whatever, and no, they give money to the fucking Space Academy. They give money to art fucking Space gallery, Academy, dude. Yeah, seriously, giving people that nudge, because when you have pride, other people look at you and they go, man, what is that guy on? What, like, you ever look at a guy and you go, or a girl or whatever, and you go, wow, you just have it. You are just so magnificent. Yeah. What you're doing, I just need to be, can I just touch some of that gold? Yeah. That you, like, how did you even do this? Yes. And most of them will say, well, I didn't give up in what I believed in, and I knew, and, you know, and people had doubts, but you know what? I kept working. Yeah. I kept trying my fucking best. Yeah. And here I am. You know, and you can do it too.
You know, that was, you said something a long time ago, that was just all your little tidbits. Oh, you want some? Here's another. You want some treasure? Here. What's your problem? Let me fix your life real quick. Something you said a long time ago was just stick to the plan. Like, and I've interpreted that as not, like you write something down and you live by that for the next 20 years. Yeah. But rather just don't fucking give up. Like, and that's a big part of the reason why I'm still in the gig that I am, because there's been so many times where I wanted to quit, and the plan has changed. I've manipulated it directly and indirectly, but just keep pushing. You gotta keep fucking pushing, because it's so easy, especially if you consume certain types of media, or you're around certain types of people. You can be encouraged to just fucking quit. Yeah. If it's because you're being told that you're too good for something, or you're being told that there's all kinds of benefits towards jumping into this new field, this new line of work.
Or you're not being told anything.
And that's not enough. You know? It's just like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. That's a dangerous place that a lot of people...
feedback is gnarly, dude.
It's gnarly.
Especially when you're in your early 20s and you're trying to figure out what your career is going to be.
God, right? Well, that is the time in your early 20s when you're trying to figure out what your career is. And if you're not getting any kind of feedback, that's hell. That's Satan for you.
Well, I don't know where I heard this, but if you come to a door and it is closed, try to push, but don't force the door open. Yeah. Come back to it later and try it again if it's something you really want. Yeah. And it might be open then. Yeah. It's as easy as saying, well, in a year, if I work and keep working, I bet you that door is going to be open. I bet that I can fucking get into that school. I bet that I can fucking land that gig. And if you don't, well then guess what? Try again later.
Yeah.
Or don't be blinded by that door, because there's infinite door. Life has many doors, Ed boy.
Life has many doors, shit boy.
If Rolf taught me anything, is that life has many doors. But at the same time, Rolf is the best character.
God.
He's still living his life. He's the son of a shepherd. He's always busy. Mm-hmm. He's strong as fuck.
He's fucking god tier,
and
like anime character.
He respects everything. Mm-hmm. And it's just great.
Yeah, so maybe healthy pride is internal. You know, maybe such a very large percentage of the benefits that can be extracted from pride at least start within you. You know, like we spend a lot of our time just as people on this planet, thinking about our emotions, what we're feeling, and working backwards from them, like figuring out where they come from.
Reverse engineering
emotions all the fucking time. And so start there, you know, and if you're doing something that you're incredibly proud of, enjoy that and sit in it for a little while.
Yeah.
Like if it's not something that you need to fucking create a statue of and put in the middle of Times Square, you know? And there are some people that live that, and I don't know what it is, if it's something about me or if it's something about that can be objectively said about pride. But when somebody comes to me and like flexes, you know, when somebody comes to me, even if it's trying to relate to the conversation, like there's been a time where I was there's been a time where I was sharing something and becoming vulnerable with somebody and exposing myself, right? And it was talking about a hardship that I went through. And the hardship itself is probably something that I'm proud of, but how I handled it and what has come out of it was something that I was proud of. And then this fucking asshole came into my fucking conversation, and it turned it into this bizarre little pissing match.
How well do you suffer?
How much? Well, I suffered a little bit harder than that, and obviously he didn't carry that tone, and maybe it wasn't what he was after. You know, I'm sure he didn't want to have a longer stream of piss than me. Yeah, but that's how it came off, and you don't always have to fucking spend a million years trying to think of how what you're about to say is going to be interpreted, but don't turn it into a pissing match. Like, if you're very proud of something, because you're not listening. Yeah, and everybody idolizes that, like the stoic, right? The accomplished stoic, the person that has lived just an incredibly storied life.
The freaking Dos Equis guy.
Yeah, the Dos Equis guy. There's videos of him, but he's not saying in that commercial about how fucking big his dick is. Yeah. Everybody admires that, and there's something to that. There's a reason why everybody appreciates that. The person who has much accomplishment, but isn't stewing in it, isn't brewing in it, and it could be because they are, you know, they feel like they're destined to continue to accomplish.
Well, that's because they're operating purely on the drive and not getting distracted by their pride. It's not, the pride isn't the goal. The pride, because if pride is the goal,
do not let pride become a goal.
Because you know what you turn into if pride is your goal? You turn into a fucking dragon. Ooh. And that's what dragons want,
Sitting
right?
on a massive
Sitting
pile
on all
of gold.
The gold isn't yours.
Just burning people alive.
The gold was never yours. It was always the dragon's. All this belongs to me. That conversation with Smaug and Bilbo in The Hobbit. The magnificent, and people they don't love you, they're afraid of you. You've used your pride to gain leverage over people. You've cut corners and you've probably given people a couple raw deals because you know what? I deserve it. It's the CEO of a mega dragon. Corporation. Well, it's fine because like this is more important than one guy. Like we need to do this because whatever. This pipeline's going through this Indian reservation.
Fucking destroy everything. Give me more gold.
Water isn't a basic human right. I'm Nestle.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's no. People are afraid of you. you've.
Yeah, I really love that. Don't let pride become a goal.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I've thought like. I've thought I can't wait to have been this, you know?
Yeah.
I can't wait to have already done this. And that's what that is. That's letting pride become the goal. That's turning shit into medals, turning experiences into medals. And
Yep.
I don't think you want to do that.
Well, if you've played an RPG,
yeah.
there's two kinds. There's the one where you get the experience when the mission is done,
Mm-hmm.
or the one where you get experience from talking to people, from doing things,
Yeah.
from finding a new location.
Hey man, Skyrim's a good game. You don't get experience from ending the quests. You get experience for fucking creating Iron Dagger
Exactly.
700,000 times.
Yeah. Well, I always liked the Fallout aspect where it's like you both get experience the whole time and then you get experience at the end because you followed through. And that just goes to show you that no matter how small a quest is,
Yeah.
if you just commit to it, you're gonna get experience. You're gonna learn something,
Yeah.
whether it's to do it again or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's this is a bad person. Fuck, I should not have done that quest.
Yeah.
And okay, well, or I'll do it different next time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's always something to be gained,
Yeah. Hey, fucking men.
but it might not always be good.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let your pride blind you in not do. Oh, I'm too good for that.
Exactly. There it is. You're fucking never too good for anything.
Yep.
Except for abuse. That's
Well,
what
except
I'm
for abuse and yeah, pretty much except for abuse.
Yeah. That's how I've lived for a long time.
Because fuck, man, people stuck in that. Well,
I know.
you think you deserve it. You have such lack of pride at that point.
Yes. It's those people that don't want to fucking get up and dance when there's live music playing.
Oh,
It's
man.
the people that that don't want to participate in some sense don't want to participate.
Dude, and that's like where I realized after fucking 28 years that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do as long as I'm not hurting anybody's feelings or as long as I'm
you're not abusing.
Dude, and it has just opened so many doors to feeling more pride for myself in a healthy way. I fucking dance when there's music now.
Hell yeah.
And that wasn't for me. That's for other people.
Uh-huh.
You know, people are better at dancing, and me flailing around is taking away from them.
Yes.
They're not looking at me.
God.
They're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
That's what dancing is.
Yeah.
Dancing
Just
is
expression for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where if you're doing it, if you're being a dancer to command attention, then that's fine too. I guess, you know.
There are some people.
There are some
Can
people
really
that
bust that shit out.
Yeah.
And Casey's a pretty good example.
Yeah,
of that.
he's a fucking little octopus, man.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I relate to that too. Before I really started hanging out with people that we hang out with now, I never danced, and I was dancing this morning, listening to. You know who Nikki Jakey is? He's a YouTuber. Okay, anyway, he's got some cool songs out. If you got a sec, check that guy out. I think it just goes by Jakey on.
Shout out to Jakey.
Shout out to Jakey. But I was listening to one of his songs today, and I was just dancing in my living room because I felt like
the urge to do it.
I felt compelled to dance, and that was not somebody who I was once upon a time, which is so fucking gross,
right?
And so evil.
And no one's even watching you.
No one was even in the fucking house.
Yeah.
And to just like fucking not allow myself that was somebody I was at one point.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, fucking did it for so long.
Totally came from this place, this like negative place of pride.
Yeah.
There's the danger of it. It's
like you're no dancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit the fuck down. You're no dancer.
Yeah, it's like embarrassment. Pride can.
Well, if you're too proud to fall, you have a role.
Yes. Yeah. Embarrassment can be a negative. I keep saying downstream component, but a negative downstream component of pride. You know. Like, you're just so horrified of somebody saying something negative about you. If somebody said something now not to ego bro, but if somebody said like, "Oh, dude, you're not that good at dancing," I'd be like, "Dude, you're a bitch."
Well,
Are you fucking kidding me? What do you got that you're still working through, dude?
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, I know, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
You don't
That's
give
how
it
you
to
say
them.
that,
You
yeah.
go, yeah, I know, I fucking suck at this. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And just make it even weirder.
Fucking yike on him.
And that's like for the longest time I thought I couldn't freestyle because it wasn't for me, but now
Right.
I love it,
dude.
and I do it all the time.
And because as a result of that practice and that newfound freedom, you're fucking good at it.
I can do it sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm not the fucking best rapper in the world, but the biggest part of it was being afraid to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And it's really, you can't be, I mean, if you're with your friends or by yourself and you're just saying shit or moving around and doing whatever, who's it hurting?
Yeah, for real.
It's not hurting, it's hurting yourself by not doing it.
Yeah, by being afraid of the result.
Suppressing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to fucking try things and be bad. Like that initial embarrassment. Sometimes it's embarrassment, but it's like, ooh, that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you get that little like, oh, whoa,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
But that's you wanting to like it.
Yeah.
And everything you've
That's
learned.
you wanting to push a little bit further.
So do it. Fucking giggle. Laugh at yourself because who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Seriously, feel comfortable enough to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Some people struggle with that. I mean, do it now. Work on becoming comfortable enough to laugh at yourself now, because it's just going to be so much harder doing it in the future.
Oh, wait until you can't wipe your own ass when you're an old man.
Oh God, how hard is it going to be if you aren't unable to laugh at yourself by then?
Because that's when you're going to off yourself, because you just can't.
Yeah.
Everything is life or death. So serious.
Yeah.
If I do this wrong, if I show weakness, if I just, but then if I look at it now and I go, man, if I would have kept on listening to that voice, I'd be miserable still.
Who you would be right now?
I just wouldn't be. I wouldn't be having as much fun.
Oh God, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't know some of the people. I wouldn't be as good of friends with people.
Yeah.
It's important to challenge yourself and be uncomfortable for that little bit of time. Give yourself enough time to see if it's something that's going to give you that feeling of pride.
Yeah, for real. Give it a chance.
Oh, man.
Okay. Let's close this out. This has been so fucking fun.
This has been a good one.
I love you. Love you, Cosmos.
Oh, coyote boy. A coyote of a boy.
This has been the second episode of Nitro Ride. Tune in if we do another one.
Who knows?